Icy Strait Point? Is that even a place? Or did someone just get creative with the cruise itinerary? Hey there, fellow cruisers. If you're staring at your Alaska cruise stops, wondering what in the world Icy Strait Point is, don't worry, you're not alone. It might sound like some fictional outpost from Northern Exposure, but I'm here to tell you that not only is it real, it might just be the most fascinating port on your entire itinerary. Unlike Juneau with its gold rush history or Ketchikan with its totem poles, Icy Strait Point doesn't have a long history as a tourist destination. In fact, this entire port was created specifically for cruise ships in 2004. But here's where it gets interesting. It was created by the local Tlingit Native Alaskans themselves, not by some distant corporation. So grab your sense of adventure because I'm about to show you why the port that nobody's heard of might be the one you'll never forget. Your cruise ship will dock at one of two piers at Icy Strait Point, either the Wilderness Landing Dock or the Ocean Landing Dock. Both are relatively new, with the Wilderness Landing Dock having opened in 2021. If you arrive at Wilderness Landing, you'll disembark near the base of the zipline and the Sky Glider gondola station. If you dock at Ocean Landing, you'll be closer to the historic cannery building, restaurants, and shops. Here's the cool part. The two dock areas are connected by a free gondola called the Transporter. This short, 4-minute ride takes you through the rainforest and gives you a bird's-eye view of the area. Even if you don't need to go between docks, take this free gondola ride just for fun. It's a nice little preview of the natural beauty that awaits. Getting around Icy Strait Point is pretty straightforward. Walking. Most attractions are accessible via walking paths and boardwalks. Shuttle. $5 round-trip shuttles run to the nearby town of Hoonah if you want to see more of local Alaska. Gondolas. Besides the free transporter gondola, there's the Sky Glider gondola that takes you up Hoonah Mountain. The most important thing to know is that unlike other Alaskan ports, Icy Strait Point was built specifically for cruise visitors. That means everything is relatively close, well-maintained, and designed for a day visit. Now for the most important question, what even is Icy Strait Point? Icy Strait Point isn't a traditional town. It's a privately developed cruise destination owned by the Hoonah Totem Corporation, which represents about 1,400 Tlingit Alaska natives with ties to the nearby town of Hoonah. What makes this different from many private cruise ports in the Caribbean is that it was developed by the Native Alaskans themselves. When you spend money here, you're supporting the local Tlingit community directly. The port is built around a restored salmon cannery from 1912, which has been transformed into a museum, shops, and restaurants. But the real star of the show is the natural setting. Icy Strait Point sits on Chichagof Island, which has more brown bears per square mile than anywhere else in the world, and the waters offshore are packed with whales, especially during the summer months. Icy Strait Point officially opened to cruise ships in 2004, but has expanded significantly in recent years, adding new docks, gondolas, and attractions. Today, it combines cultural experiences, wildlife viewing, adventure activities, and shopping, all with an authentically Alaskan feel. Let's start with the attraction that literally everyone talks about, the one that will have you screaming down a mountain at highway speeds. The ZipRider at Icy Strait Point is no ordinary zipline. It's one of the world's longest and highest zipline experiences, featuring 6 parallel cables that allow you and 5 friends to race down together. Here are the stats that will make your palms sweat. 5,330 feet long, that's over a mile. 1,330-foot vertical drop, taller than the Empire State Building. Speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. 90 seconds of pure adrenaline. The experience starts with a scenic ride up Hoonah Mountain on the Sky Glider gondola. Once at the top, 1,600 feet above sea level, you're strapped into a seated harness. No need to worry about dangling as you're comfortably seated the whole time. Then, you let gravity do its thing. You'll zoom down the mountainside with incredible views of the port, your cruise ship, and the surrounding wilderness. It's simultaneously terrifying and breathtaking. The best part? You don't need any special skills, just the courage to take the initial plunge. The ZipRider isn't cheap, around $120 to $140 per person, but it's an experience unique to Icy Strait Point that many visitors rate as the highlight of their entire Alaska cruise. Book this one in advance, as it often sells out. If hurling yourself down a mountain isn't your idea of fun, don't worry. The wildlife viewing here is world-class. Humpback whales are the stars here, especially from May through September when they feed in these nutrient-rich waters. You might witness them bubble net feeding, a spectacular hunting technique where a group of whales swim in circles while blowing bubbles to corral herring, then lunge to the surface with their mouths open. Besides humpbacks, you might also see orcas, killer whales, sea lions, harbour seals, sea otters, bald eagles. The tour boats are typically smaller than in other ports, allowing them to get you closer to the action while providing a more personal experience. Most whale watching excursions last 2 to 3 hours and include knowledgeable guides, often local Tlingit people who bring a cultural perspective to the experience. Whale watching here costs around $150 per person, but the success rate is extremely high, making it worth the investment for wildlife enthusiasts. From marine mammals to land mammals, Icy Strait Point's other wildlife specialty is of the large, furry, and occasionally terrifying variety. Remember when I mentioned that Chichagof Island has the highest concentration of brown bears in the world? The bear viewing opportunities here are exceptional, especially from July through September when the salmon are running. Several bear viewing excursions take you to prime bear spotting locations. Spassky River Valley tours. Visit viewing platforms overlooking salmon streams where bears come to feed. ATV or Jeep wilderness tours. Explore backroads and wilderness areas where bears might be spotted. Brown bear search by bus. A more leisurely option that still gives you a chance to spot bears in their natural habitat. Bear sightings are never guaranteed. They're wild animals after all, but the guides know the best locations and times to maximize your chances. The tours also provide information about bear behavior, habitat, and conservation. Unlike some wildlife viewing experiences that feel rushed or inauthentic, these excursions take you into genuine wilderness areas where the bears are truly wild, not habituated to humans or visiting the same spots daily. For a deeper understanding of the people who've called this area home for thousands of years, dive into the culture of the Tlingit. The Hoona Tlingit people have lived in this region for millennia, and Icy Strait Point offers several ways to experience their rich culture. Tribal dance shows, traditional performances showcasing Tlingit song, dance, and storytelling at the Heritage Centre Theatre. Native voices of the Tlingit. Hear stories and legends from Tlingit elders and cultural ambassadors. Cooking demonstrations. Learn about traditional foods and preparation methods at Alaska's Wildest Kitchen Experience. Carving demonstrations. Watch master carvers work on totem poles and other traditional art forms. Many of these cultural experiences are led by actual members of the Tlingit community, not actors or outsiders. The profits support cultural preservation efforts, making these activities both entertaining and meaningful. If you have time, take the shuttle or walk the 1.5-mile path to the village of Hoona. This is Alaska's largest Tlingit community and offers an even more authentic glimpse into modern Native Alaskan life. The restored salmon cannery is the heart of Icy Strait Point. Built in 1912, it operated until 1953, processing the region's abundant salmon catch. Today, it houses Cannery Museum, free exhibits showcasing the facility's history and the salmon canning process. Some of the original equipment is still there, including the somewhat gruesome iron chink. Shopping, local crafts, Native Alaskan art, souvenirs, and authentic Alaskan products. Restaurants, the Cookhouse, offering casual Alaskan fare, and the Crab House, specializing in locally caught Dungeness crab and Alaska king crab. Take time to walk the creaky wooden boardwalks, read the historical placards, and appreciate this fascinating piece of Alaskan industrial heritage. The cannery tells the story of how the salmon industry shaped Alaska and provided livelihoods for generations of workers, including many Tlingit people. Icy Strait Point offers a taste of what Alaska is really all about. As you sail away from this special place, I hope you'll take a moment to appreciate what you've just experienced. A destination that puts its people, culture, and environment first. And isn't that what travel should be about? Enjoyed this guide to Icy Strait Point? Subscribe to Travel Day Trip Ideas for more authentic port guides that help you cruise smarter.